Ultimate Portrait, Takara Fujishima. Before I begin, and I will state this in every episode, I do not endorse, nor do I condone the use of online manga readers, online fan subs, etc. If you do use these to access any aspect of shounen I would implore you please purchase these mediums to support the artists and the companies that produce them. This segment we will be looking at Takara Fujishima. We will not be going into great depth or detail into other characters in the story. This is an outlook into Takara solely. I hope you do enjoy what you're about to hear and possibly give you a better understanding of the character and this wonderful shonen AI series. Born on May 28th, Takara's zodiac sign is a Taurus. Upon an outwardly appearance, you would begin to think that his angelic face and looks would not signify a notion of stubbornness. However, upon reading the manga, Komatta, Toki, Hoshi, Kike, you get great depth and detail into Takara. Upon reading, you will learn that his personality is a splitting image of a Taurus. Stubborn to a fault, Takara tends to take on many things within his world. Whether it be studying hard to gain entrance into his private high school, getting into fights with fellow classmates, and one person I would call a soul friendmate, Kiyomine Hosaka. We learn from the manga, Takara lost his mother at a very young age, which prior to this death, Takara was a precious, precocious youth. Takara was always getting into various things and troubles with his friends. However, after her death is when Takara began to change, personality-wise. At some point in the series, he lost his grandfather, and with this, his father being a photographer with the National Geographic, Takara's grandmother became his sole caretaker. During his middle high school years, we kind of see how he changed and learned that he would get into fights all the time, which never really brought Takara out of this mindset until his grandmother's health began to take a turn for the worse. It is then Takara decided instead of being a bad boy, he should change his way and become a good boy. He would always tell his grandmother when visiting her in the hospital that he would be a good boy and not misbehave. These circumstances, I believe, hardened Takara's heart to a degree. Discovering within the series, we learned that from Takara's close friends that Takara was a carefree child. He could cry at a moment's notice due to the slightest things. However, it seemed like then, with his misfortunes of family deaths, Takara closed himself off emotionally. Which Takara's issues were further compounded when his grandmother became ill. Takara worked closely with upper fellow class member in middle school, and he began to actively study and learn to pass the entrance exam into his private high school. Takara would then indeed pass the exam and be admitted. However, shortly prior to high school life beginning, Takara's grandmother would pass away, and his plans to commute from school and back and forth changed. He then felt like it was best to stay within the school's male dormitory. Her passing left a deep hole in Takara's heart, not simply due to her passing, but also for the fact that Takara's father did not show up for the funeral. Rather, his father would be out of Takara's life for many years, only briefly coming to take visits from wherever he was to Japan from his busy work life. This pained Takara a lot because his grandmother's passing, Takara did not really actively have much of a blood relation to fall upon. We learn the reason as to why his father, Kyo Fujishima, stayed away in later chapters, which was because every time he saw Takara, it reminded Kyo of the passing of his beloved wife. I believe Takara begins to change ever so slowly in the series, back into the carefree child he once was, but still retaining that Taurus personality. You can say Takara is an angel with an ever so slight demonic side. Why do I say this? Well, throughout the series, Takara displays a wide range of personalities. Whether it be getting in a fight or kicking his fellow roommates and classmates' ass, you wouldn't think that his pipsqueak could hold his own ground. Takara, after having caused a scene in school's opening ceremony, much to his chagrin, his fellow classmates began to bully and harass him in many ways. For the early part of the abuse, he attacks back, but nothing seems to persuade his abusers. Takara, finally having enough of the abuse, just absent smiley smiles, and his attackers strangely fall in love with Takara because of his beauty. Through his evolution throughout the series, we see Takara growing as a person, one who reconnects with his father after his father returns from Japan on one trip, and his ever-growing bond with Kiyomi Hosaka. Within our next video segment, I will be doing an intimate portrait in Hosaka Kiyomi or Kiyomi Hosaka. I hope you did enjoy this brief outlook into Takara. If you did enjoy this, I implore you, please read the manga, and also, if you do enjoy the manga, please purchase the volumes you have read to support the artist.